Hey everybody, Jay Reale here at ebodyboarding.com. Travel tips and hacks. Let's start with the most obvious thing when you're doing a surf trip is where are you going to go? And that decision, of course, is up to you. Depends on your budget and, of course, your availability in terms of like work and school. How much time do you have? But I will say this, when you're choosing a destination, don't just throw a dart at the map. Do a little bit of research on the destination and what time of year you're going to have your best shot at getting good surf. But always consider off-season options. A good example is Vicki and I go to Central America with Bodyboard holidays in the off-season. But we score every single year. So some destinations can have really good surf in the off times of year, and the benefits are obvious. You're going to have less people traveling to those areas at those times of year because they're not the sort of high season for surf. Also, you may get better pricing because it's the off season and more availability. And naturally, you won't have to deal with as many people in the surf. So definitely consider those options. Now, when booking a ticket, I highly recommend I like to use Google Flights, but go to your browser and open an incognito window on your browser. Most browsers have that option. And the reason is because a lot of people will tell you, I don't know if it's true or not, I don't have any proof, that when you go to websites to check pricing and you type in your destination, they'll set cookies on your computer. And if you don't book it, the next time you go back, they may see, oh, he's back. He's looking at this trip again. Let's jack the prices up. So incognito browser takes away that possibility. Also, I've heard some people say, and I don't know, I've never done this, is that using a VPN, you can pretend you're from another country, maybe a country that's not as affluent, and sometimes you can get better pricing if you book the ticket through a VPN. Again, I've never done this. You can Google it and do some research on your own. I have no proof. So in terms of booking, if you're going to Google Flights to check prices using your incognito browser, I will give you this tip. When you book air tickets, always book directly through the airline. Do not use third parties to book air tickets specifically. I'm talking about Expedia, Travelocity, Kayak, and other websites where you can book tickets. And here's why. Third-party bookings, if you ever have a problem with the air ticket, you need to make a change, there's a problem with the flight or something along those lines, it is really difficult to go through a third party to make changes. And the airlines, if you call them directly, they'll usually just tell you, oh, sorry, you booked through a third party. You have to go through them to make any changes. So for that reason, go directly through the airline to book tickets. And Google Flights offers that. They'll show you all the rates, and then you can book directly through the airline using their search engine. Also, if you have credit card points, you might be able to qualify for an award ticket. So certainly look at the possibilities of that on the airline's website directly. There are certain credit cards that are excellent for accumulating points towards travel, and you can use them for all sorts of things like obviously air tickets, but also hotels, rental cars. And Vicki and I, we like to use the American Express card and also Capital One Venture card. There's a lot of cards where you accumulate points. You can use them on any airline. I don't recommend using airline-specific cards for that reason, because maybe you have a Delta Visa card. You're just going to get benefits on Delta, but you won't be able to use it on American or United or whatever other airline you may be looking at. But with these other cards, you can use them on any airline. And go to a website called The Points Guy. They have very comprehensive information on how to do that and which cards give you the best benefits and so forth. So you could, as I said, qualify for an award ticket and get a free ticket. Another little tip for you is when you're booking travel, look, if you have this luxury, at multiple airports in your area. For example, here in Southern California, we have 5 airports within a 1-hour drive of us. So if departures are available to a certain destination, I'll check all 5 of those airports And Google Flights offers you the ability to do that with just a couple of mouse clicks. And likewise, your destination, for example, we go to Texas Tube Tour every year to our trip to Waco Surf, and we check flights into both Austin and Dallas to find the cheapest flight. But I also always check rental car prices. And for rental car bookings, I like to use Costco Travel. Costco Travel usually has really competitive rates, and they have the added benefit of being able to cancel a reservation at the very last minute if you need to. So if you book a car through Costco Travel, I recommend booking it in advance, but also check again a few days before your trip. Sometimes the price has gone down and you can cancel the original booking and rebook a new one. Sometimes the rental car might be cheaper into one airport, and that may offset the extra cost of the plane ticket to go into that airport. So, check all those logistics, and you may find yourself getting a better deal. Even if you pay a little more for the air ticket into one place, the rental car may be dramatically cheaper. So you're ending up saving money in the long run. So there's a few travel tips for you, and stay tuned for a few more. Let's talk about travel tips. So, first thing, when you're traveling, make a list. That is a list of everything you want to bring on the trip, and do it well in advance of the trip. That'll give you plenty of time to order or buy anything you might need that's on your list that you don't have. And when you're making that list, by the way, my list is in the description below. And you'll see that I've separated into categories. For example, surf gear. Put everything I need: board, fins, leashes, sunscreen, wax, and so forth, rash guards. Electronics, computer chargers, GoPro camera, GoPro charger, plug adapters if you're going to a foreign country. And then I'll have clothing, surf trunks, underwear, t-shirts, jackets, rain jacket, all that kind of stuff. So you have your list. It'll make it so much easier to pack your bags when it comes time to travel. And I do recommend leaving the list next to your bedside. So if you wake up at 2 in the morning and remember something that you forgot to pack, you can quickly jot it down on that list. And then when packing day comes, you're ready. Another tip, on packing day, you want to separate all your stuff into piles. So, for example, I have all the stuff that's going to go in the Bodyboard bag in one pile over here: board, leashes, Swimfins, extra leash plug, sunscreen, wax. We're also bringing Surfboard, so I have all the surf gear over here and the bags that they're going to go in, including the fins and the fin keys and the leashes. And then we have a tool that I highly recommend, and that is a luggage scale. They're really cheap. You can buy them on Amazon or at Target or Walmart, and they're very handy to have because every airline has different baggage limitations in terms of size and weight. You want to check that out on the airline's website in advance, and that way you'll know as you pack your bag what's the weight limit, and you can use that luggage scale to get the bag as close as possible to the weight limit. Another little tip for you, I like to prepare my stuff so that when I arrive at my destination I can just grab it and go. For example, with my surfboards, I have pre-waxed my board with tropical wax, so when I arrive at the destination I can just pull the board out, put the fins on, and get the leash ready. Same with my bodyboard. I have the leash plug already installed in the board. I have the tropical wax on the board, and my fin tethers are already attached to my fins, so I'm ready to grab and go when I reach my destination. Another little travel tip for you: if you're using one of our rolling bags, the wheels are on one end and the handles on the other. Always put the nose on the wheeled end of the bag, because the nose will fit in between the two wheels and the bag will pack better. Always the biggest hassle of traveling is checking in the bags. Couple more tips for you. Make sure you get to the airport way earlier than you think you need to, especially for international flights. Just as an example, we left 5.5 hours early for this flight. And if you travel a lot, get TSA pre-check and global entry if you go international a lot. They'll save you a massive amount of time. If you travel a lot, get a credit card that offers lounge access or pay for the priority pass. It's an app where you can have access to lounges all around the world and you eat free in the lounges. The money savings on the food alone is well worth the purchase price of priority pass or any credit card where you have to pay an annual fee.
Here's an airport tip from Jay. He never takes the elevator or the escalator. He always takes the stairs. So if you want to live longer and be healthy, take the stairs.
Plus, you're going to be sitting on your butt on a plane for hours and hours. So you might as well get as much exercise as you can. The same goes for the moving sidewalks. Don't be lazy. Walk. More flying tips here. Let's see your foot strap. So this is just a board bag strap. You can take it off your board bag when you check your bag in, and you make a foot hammock out of it. You clamp it under the tray table, and let's see how it works, Kieran. Just put your foot in there. You got yourself a footrest. Pretty sweet.
This sucker.
And here's one of these inflatable pillows with multiple positions.
And you can put it here and we can
Okay, here's another airline hack. If you want to make it easy to get out of an aisle, see if there's a little lever underneath here if you want to bring the camera down. You just pull the lever back and this armrest goes up. Pretty simple. When I first get on the plane, I always put this in my pocket, so when I sit down, I have it at easy access. It's a little Ziploc bag with a charging block, a pen, an eye mask, earplugs, headphones, and a phone charging cable. Pretty much anything you need for a long flight. I also have one of these. This is one of those neck pillows. There's a lot of different types. Try different ones. So another little travel hack when you travel to the tropics. Obviously on the plane it's usually chilly, so you like to have long pants. But what I do is I get convertible pants, and then when I arrive at my destination, all I have to do is unzip the legs and I've got shorts instantly. So I highly recommend a nice quality pair of convertible pants.
chance.
Chance.